Harvey?
Okay, good. We talked about it before. When time is really, really, really important, write the words, time is of the essence, in the contract. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
This is the plaintiff, Sandy Kirk. She says the defendant rented a mobile home, lived there for a while, and then one night snuck out. That's right, he just pulled out under the cover of darkness, owes her money for rent, and she's suing for the $474.50 she's owed. This is the defendant, Randy Edenshaw. He says he complained about having no heat, and the next thing he knows, he's being evicted. They told him he had 5 days to move out, so he got out that day. The place was a dump anyway. He owes nothing because it had no heat, and he thinks the judge will agree. He's accused of going poof in the night.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Okay, did you ever tell your landlord that there was a problem?
Not by word of mouth.
By smoke signals? What, like by what?
Okay, so this is me. I use artificial
A mobile home from you?
Yes.
And apparently took off in the middle of the night, according to you. Tell me what happened.
We rented him in April of 13. He was a friend of somebody else's in the park, and he was a decent tenant. He was late several times on his rent, but he always paid, and next thing we knew, he was gone.
Okay, but before he was gone, something happened for the prior 2 months. What was that?
He didn't pay, but because he had been late before, we assumed he would catch up.
Did anybody say anything to him, like you're late?
Well, I sent him a letter during the summer, and he made payment at that time. And we tried knocking on the door. His phone was disconnected at the time, or he changed his number, so I didn't have a current number. And eventually we sent the sheriff out.
Okay, so because he just never responded to you and never paid October or November. I'm going to be with you in a minute. Never paid October or November, according to you. All right, did you have a security deposit?
Yes, we did.
How much? $575?
Yeah.
Okay, and how much was rent? Same amount?
Yes.
All right, now explain to me the math of how you get to where you are on this lawsuit.
What we do is we bill his water to his account. So he had just been paying pretty much the $575. He hadn't been paying his water bill. So that was an accumulation of water.
Okay, I need to see the water bills that you're suing for. Can't just say it. You got to show me.
Yeah, those I don't have. They don't
Okay, do you have a lease with them?
I do.
Let me see the lease. What's going on, Mr. Edenshaw?
Honestly, I'd moved in, lived there for approximately 7 months. In that time, in October 24th, I had gas delivered, and it failed the standard test because it was leaking. And this is a copy of the bill.
Okay.
And I had, sorry about that. I had gas delivered, and it failed the test. I copied that and put that in the drop box.
I'm sorry. How do I know that it failed the test other than the fact that somebody wrote it in handwriting here?
That's, Your Honor, that's what the delivery guy wrote on there.
Okay. Did you ever tell your landlord that there was a problem?
Not by word of mouth.
Well, by smoke signals? What? Like by what? By what?
Sorry. No, Your Honor, it was just I dropped that copy of that off in the leasing office box.
Okay. Did you receive that?
No. No,
All
we
right,
would have taken care of that. Gas is serious.
Yeah, it is serious. I don't think anybody should be relaxed about this if there's really a leak test that failed, because that's pretty serious. So what did you do? Nothing?
I just waited to hear from them to get it fixed, and I just plugged in an electric heater.
Weren't you worried you'd blow up?
No, they had said they had turned it completely off because it was unsafe to have it running at all.
So what were you running then? Electric heat?
Electric heater, yeah.
And then what? Did you pay for October rent? Because according to her, you didn't pay October, so you were already behind on October 1st, and it's October 24th. Why had you not paid October?
Because the gas had not been maintained.
Except for that you did not find out anything wrong with the gas until October 24th. So now, November 1st, you don't pay. And who's that lady right there?
This is my girlfriend, Erin.
Okay. Were you living there too?
Yeah.
Come on up. Did you know that you hadn't paid rent in 2 months?
No. Well, November I did. October, because we had just started dating.
Oh.
So I was only there part-time. I was still living sometimes at my parents' house.
But after a month you moved in?
No.
Okay. That's what she said. We just started dating. So, all right. So she is suing you for October rent, November rent, a balance of September. Explain that now. What is that? Oh, that's the
That was
water bill. You did
accumulation of
explain
water.
that. But you don't have the water bills? Were you supposed to pay water or did they pay water?
We were supposed to, Your Honor.
You were supposed to.
Yes.
All right. And were you behind on some water bills?
Yes, I just totally
You
forgot
acknowledge that.
about
All right.
them. Yeah,
And so, I'm sorry, what's your defense?
that I had no gas.
All right.
And
Did you ever contact her to talk to her or anything?
I had dropped off the keys to the office.
Did you ever talk to her personally or never?
Not when I left.
So when you didn't have heat for 60 days, and that's why, according to you, you didn't pay rent, why didn't you go in and demand, face-to-face and talk to her about the issue?
Your Honor, it was just I was busy. I had a lot going on. A single father, just doing everything I had to do in regular life that I didn't think I had
Because
to worry
heat's
about.
kind of major. If you're saying that's the reason that you shouldn't have to pay rent, it's kind of major, right? Like, in
Yes.
other words, it's making your place uninhabitable. And so the only question is, are you entitled to not pay some of your rent because you were without heat? Tell me about the heat situation there.
It kind of switched off. We thought it was because we hadn't filled up the tank. So we made the appointment, filled the tank. They came, they
Were
tested
you there when they
everything.
came?
I was, yeah.
Okay, tell me about that.
They came, they filled it up, and then they came inside, and I don't know a whole lot about it, but there's some weird tank inside of the trailer that they have to look at. So they went, looked at that, said that wasn't working. They went back outside, tried to turn it on, and then they wrote that note on the bottom of the notice and explained that they were shutting it completely off, it wasn't passing the tests, and that we had to have the landlords come out and fix it.
Okay, and that discussion took place with you or with both of you?
Both of us.
Both of you. And as a newbie in the trailer, weren't you uncomfortable without heat, or the space heaters were working?
The space heaters did what
They did
could.
the trick.
If we shut off the doors to everything else, you could just plug it in, and it did okay.
And the gas thing, the mobile homes, the pipes go along the heating ducts, so we want the real gas heating to work to keep the pipes from freezing, and we do not encourage at all electric heaters.
Right.
So if we had been aware of that, we would have taken care of it to prevent other problems.
Right. So you're telling me that to further your statement
had
that
known
you
about
were
it, we would
never
have
told
certainly
about it because
taken care of it.
it's in your best interest to get it solved.
Correct.
All right. So then how does this work? Did they turn it off just to his?
Yes,
So how would that freeze your pipes if everything else is?
because we own the home he's in.
Oh, you own the homies then.
Yeah. He was renting the mobile home itself.
Right.
So, Your Honor, did anybody go back to the trailer and fix the heat?
I don't know. She may be hearing about it for the first time right now. Have you ever heard that the heat was broken?
No, we've
Is
had
someone
two
else
other
living in
tenants
there?
in there since then.
And you've never had to fix the heat when there's a
We
leak?
actually sold the home, I think 3 months ago. So
Make sure you tell the people that that was the allegation so that they get it checked, okay? Because that's
Yeah.
for their safety.
The plaintiff says the place was trailer trash. Will she get nearly $475? Milian rules next.
If you would like free tickets to be part of...
You know what you're getting into. You have to.
Yeah, but you don't know you're not going to get heat until you turn the heat on, right?
Right. I mean, you're paying, so you need heat.
Can you get out of a lease just because there's no heat?
No, because, I mean, wait, I messed up.
You can think about that. We'll talk about it sometime later. Going inside the courtroom.
All right, based on what I have heard, I'm having a little bit of a hard time thinking that the place was uninhabitable and that that's why you did not pay rent. I think you were just maybe having money problems. I'm assuming that this is truthful, that in fact there was a leak test failure. You certainly have corroboration of it. What I am not 100% positive of is that you actually took that extra step to get notice over to them for them to do something, and that she ignored it, which is what would entitle you to be able to deduct something from the rent. This is kind of fortuitous because you were able to heat it up. I think it did just fine with the space heaters, so this wasn't that big a deal to you, I guess. In other words, you didn't act like it was all that important to you, but you want me to presume that you shouldn't have to pay any rent because it was all that important to you. I guess that's what I'm saying. So based on what I'm listening to and your admission on the water bills, I'm going to find in favor of the plaintiff in the amount of $474.50. Verdict for the plaintiff.
thank you.
And that is every penny the plaintiff sued for.